And good evening for this second run at the special edition of the Mouthwash Talk Show. And wow, it's been a crazy trying to put this together. Sorry, I'm running a few minutes late here because I'm just putting the clips together. Because last night I did this, and I'm sort of glad I did a dry run because I think I'll do better tonight on. I think I'll do better. One, I have all the clips made here, so I don't have to worry about the clip not coming through. So if you are in the audience and you have a comment, I will try to answer those as I go. But I'm going to try to make this precise, quick, and to the point tonight about this recent scandal that's going around about this deep fake of Craig Haggart's wife singing at an event topless. And apparently, that evil Micah Beckwith's staff members were watching this back in April and laughing and having beers and chuckling and all that. And yet, no video has come out. So I'm going to break down how the they, we're trying to figure out who they are, who's behind the scenes, who comes up with this stuff. Well, I'm going to give you a couple examples of what's happened over the years. One of them is me personally. And we're going to lay out how they do this. And, one of the things that I think they are the people who give out these government jobs. These are those people in the government jobs that fund other areas, say, whatever that is, they fund it. And these people need to protect their nest egg because they got a good thing going. They're getting that funding. They don't have to be held accountable. But you get somebody poking around that's not in their club, and man, they come for you. And this is a perfect example of that. But I'm going to lay it out tonight, and I'm going to, I think your eyes are going to be opened to how it works behind the curtain. Remember the Wizard of Oz, when they got to the end, and they saw the wizard behind the curtain? Well, we're going to put back the curtain tonight. And, the name of this show is They Better Put On Some Sunscreen because they're about to get exposed. So I'm going to start this out with my story. I'm going to tell you my story. I got my mayor shirt on tonight, and it started back when I was green. And keep that in mind. I was fresh into politics, never run for anything in my life. And of course, my giant ego said, hey, I could manage the city. I'll run for mayor. They said, run for school board. I'm like, oh, Johnny can't. There's a saying, Johnny can't read. You probably don't want me in your school unless it's something to do with art. I'm pretty good at that. But don't have me spell, math, or any of that stuff. Creative, that's me. So I jumped into this thing and not knowing anything. And so, an incident happened on a job site in 2017. I was up in Whitestown working, and this landscape contractor decided to assault my crew and me a couple times, put him in a headlock. I stopped him. I just stopped the guy. The guy was friggin' crazy. In fact, they said I saw evil in his eyes. Well, it was bad. Whitestown police come down. Nothing, no arrest, no anything. They just write up a report. Well, 2018, I start milling around and wanting to run for office. Then I start talking about, hey, I can run for mayor. Well, mysteriously, I get charged by the state, not Whitestown, not anybody else. Remember, nobody was arrested. Nobody was, it just was reports made. I get charged by the state for a misdemeanor on tumultuous activity and fighting. And all I was doing was defending myself. I mean, I wanted to give this guy one, but I didn't. A little voice said, don't do it. And I didn't. So they said, oh, well, we're gonna charge you on that. So I got to go to this here. I got to hire a lawyer because I'm a criminal now. I got this misdemeanor. I said I didn't do this. I'm going to fight it. So I had a July date and they continued it. I had a September date. They continued all the time. I'm trying to run for mayor here. So December 13th, I'm going to announce. Oh, I got a court date on like a December 11th or 12th. I'm thinking they're surely going to dismiss this. There's no evidence at all. Oh, no, they don't. But in the meantime, the gossip reporter, Abdul, gets involved. Now, pay attention. This is how they do it. So they'll call you and they'll say, hey, I heard you did this, you're being looked at for this big scuffle and all this problems here. Do you want to make a statement? Well, naive me, I said, oh, yeah, Abdul, I'll meet with you. I'll talk to you. I'll give you a statement. So I go, I go, where do you want to meet? He goes, Columbia Club. So he had me come down to the Columbia Club. And in hindsight, I think, oh, he was just showing me how big a guy he was. Hey, I'm at the Columbia Club. Hold your pinky up when you're talking to me because I'm special. So we have a conversation. I tell him the story, just like what happened. The guy attacked my crew. He assaulted me twice. I stopped him. Nothing happened. Okay. So the very next day, Abdul writes a hit piece on me. I had somebody come up to me and said, hey, I heard you almost killed a guy in a bar fight. That's how bad he twisted this around to make me look bad. Oh, and add more misery to it. They continued again to the day before the caucus where they do the slating. So I go in, and my good friend Penny Bigelow went with me, and my attorney. We go in on Friday up at the Lebanon courthouse. By gosh, we're the only court case on the docket. There's nobody else there. The judge, actually a new judge got put in. So the old judge went out at the first of the year. This was actually her fourth case. So she called my attorney back there. They come back out and said, okay, the deputy prosecutor here, Rachel Tate, still remember her name. I'd love to ask her why she decided to charge me on a misdemeanor later, because I talked to several attorneys and that just doesn't happen. It's just irregular. So, the whole thing stinks. She comes in, case dismissed, we leave. I didn't go through the slating because I had already seen the writing on the wall that this thing was all rigged for Jim Merritt to win, and they just wanted to get my $12,500 to do the slating. So I didn't do it. But that's part of the thing. And so, and here's the other icing on the cake. So when you got my case, look me up on my case. All of it's gone. It's been expunged. And there's not there. I don't even have a traffic ticket on there. And I had a couple of traffic tickets. So, I drive a little fast sometimes. All gone. It's all gone. They don't want any record of this. So that's just my story. Now I want to tell you a little bit about Curtis Hill. Okay, Curtis Hill, he was up and coming. He was really doing well. And he had ruffled some feathers in the administration. And so they said, hey, we're going to clip his wings. And if you'll remember when they did that, what was a big national story going around at the time when this went down? It was the Me Too movement. So what these people do is they'll pick out a national story. Now pay attention to this, because this is going to forward up into the Micah Beckwith and Craig Haggard situation. Pay attention to this. That was what the big thing was. So they make up a story, and then they give it out to these reporters who will run with it without even questioning anything. And I'm going to play some clips here that's going to prove that out. And I'm going to do the red flag, and you're going to start looking at things a lot differently, because you're going to be educated on how this works. This is nothing but dirty politic, evil tricks to ruin people. It is divide, discourage, and destroy. Rinse and repeat. And that's what they do. So what they did to Curtis, he goes to this party. Everybody's, having a good time. They make up this thing about, he's, filling up these skirts and whatnot and all that. And, after all that thing plays out, there wasn't even a civil case here. They dropped the civil case because they didn't have a dang on thing. Now they ruined this guy's reputation. They don't care. So I just think that this is, how they do things. So let's fast forward to our show tonight. I just wanted to give you that setup on how this works and what they do and how they do it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to play clip number 1. See if this works. And then we'll stop, and I will give you my commentary on this, because this time Rob Kendall's a useful idiot. And I guess they had to bring in another useful idiot because Abdul's not getting it done. So I don't know where they dug up this Tom Libamyamno or whatever his name is, but let's just take a listen.
Casey, there are updates.
What are you talking about, Rob?
We have an update on that story that we covered yesterday involving the allegations that employees in the lieutenant governor's office were allegedly viewing artificial intelligence pornography.
Mm-hmm. Deep fakes.
This is the most crazy. I've been covering Indiana politics and government on and off for 15 years, 9 here at WIBC. Mm-hmm. This is the craziest story I think I've ever heard.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty outstanding.
And the guy who broke the story, we talked about this yesterday. He is a national freelance journalist. His name is Tom LaBianco. You probably know him best. He wrote a big expose, a book on Mike Pence a couple years ago. And he joins us now on the WIBC hotline because we have updates. Let's read the headline. Indy prosecutor probes topless deep fake. Haggard blasts pornographic smear of his wife. Tom LaBianco joins us now to tell us all. Tom, hello.
Hey, guys. Yes, as one of my sources told me yesterday, this is one of the craziest things he's seen out of the State House since Dwayne Brown was sucking women's toes.
Okay, so let's start with the big. There's 2 big things that you revealed this morning. One is Craig Haggard has gone public. It is his wife who is allegedly at the center of having these deep fake pornographic videos made and shared.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. State Representative Craig Haggard represents suburban Indy down in Hendricks County. He issued a statement to me over at 24 Site News, and he says, "My wife and I are outraged and saddened that her singing at a charity event for mental health was turned into a pornographic smear of her and our family. State House leadership, rather than expressing concern for a victim of this criminal act, instead went into full find the leakers mode, seeking to cover up any role the lieutenant governor's office may have played in this affront to all women."
Okay, so is it safe to say then, obviously you talked to him, that he believes this occurred?
Oh, yes. And he's not the only one, as we report here. So the Marion County Prosecutor's Office yesterday began interviewing people as part of their investigation into this.
All right. Red flags, red flags, red flags. So first, Rob builds the guy up. He's important. Well, I looked him up online. He doesn't even have any followers on Twitter. He's got like 4. I don't know where this guy came from. I've only been in politics for 7 years, and man, I've learned a lot. Got a lot of, bloody noses, black eyes, been dragged through the mud, everything else, inspected, all that stuff, followed by the police, all the stuff that you get. Where'd they dig up this guy? I guess our local gossip columnist wasn't getting the job done. So they bring in this other guy. I don't know where he came from, but he talks about how great he is. And then he goes on to talk about Craig and that he issued this statement. Well, later on, I got to, Craig's going to tell you how he found out about this thing. Now, keep in mind, it happened in April. And why now is it all coming out? There's a common denominator between all this. So pay attention. I mean, just pay attention. So he's going to set this up. And what's very interesting, he says, the prosecutor's already on this. You could murder 6 people downtown and he wouldn't be on it as fast as this. This is the biggest setup I've seen since Curtis Hill. It really is. And it may be bigger. And I'll tell you what, they're trying to get 2 people out. Let's see, Craig Haggard, he's doing great against Jim Baird. They do not want to lose Jim Baird because he just stands there and goes, yes, what do I do? What do I do? And everybody knows that Bo Baird, his son, is going to be in line. If he wins and steps down, then he's going to try to caucus him in. Then we're going to be stuck with thing 2. So they want to take him out. Now, Micah Beckwith, we all know that he has such a lovely relationship with the lieutenant governor that they've been trying to get rid of him. Oh, wait, they've been trying to get rid of him before he actually won. So there's no love between those folks. So they're glad. So let's see. Let's take Craig Haggard, aggressive. Let's take Micah Beckwith, aggressive. Let's put a little gasoline out there and they'll do the spark. So let's do something with Craig Haggard's wife. Now, why would they pick Craig Haggard? I mean, they could pick a lot of people's wives, but why did they pick them? Because they want these 2 to hate each other. So remember, divide, discourage, and destroy. Rinse and repeat. So that's what we have going on with that, with how this works. And it works. Look at it. They got rid of Curtis Hill. They got rid of me. They got rid of anybody that's not in the club. They want to make sure that door is locked, deadbolted, and welded shut. It's not happening. So let's go on to number 2. This guy here, like I said, I don't know where they dug him up, but they dug him up, and here he is. So let's go to the next clip.
Okay, Tom LaBianco is our guest. He's a freelance journalist. You know him from Fox News, MSNBC, the Associated Press, etc. He is at the center of the stories, wrote these stories involving allegations of deep fake pornography being viewed, potentially shared in the lieutenant governor's office.
Okay, so that is another example of what's in the news right now. Just like when Curtis was the Me Too thing, now it's this deep fake. So they make up the story, then they convince some no-name journalist or some cuck that's here in town that's a gossip columnist that'll run with it without doing any research. And guess what? There's no, as far as I can tell, there's no video. It's going to be hard to prove that this happened. So they make up this story and make it sensational, whatever. It's just goofy enough that you'll believe it, because who would do that? Who would sit around? But let's get into the next clip.
Casey.
So last night, Lieutenant Governor Beckwith, he had a town hall in Terre Haute. He was asked about the video, and he said that he could not find evidence of it. He said it's baseless allegations. You have cited some anonymous sources. I guess, Tom, people are questioning, where's the proof in any of this?
Yeah, it's a good question, right? And as a veteran reporter, I think it's important to kind of lay out our process as professionals here. When I talk with people who witness this, I provide them anonymity to further confidentiality to be able to talk about this and report on it, so that they don't face retribution from Micah Beckwith, for instance. Beckwith, as I report in today's story, has undergone a leak investigation. He's trying to find out who's been talking to me. And so I will tell you that I would not have published the original story or this story without having the information coming from different corners, from different sources.
So he's got sources he doesn't name. Well, one of the sources is Erin Sheridan. I'm going to say her name. I didn't say it last night, but she's a rat. And I think she's a rat going all the way back to Suzanne Crouch, because she worked for Suzanne Crouch back in the day. Well, you remember Suzanne ran against Braun. So did you always know that everybody knew what Suzanne was going to do, especially the Braun team? They knew exactly what Suzanne was going to do. Every move. She's a rat. And she got into it with me on Facebook about all you followers. Now, don't be offended by this, but Erin called you ghetto felon followers. And that's what got it started. And I was on there defending, there was a Rob Kendall. He was complaining about the office hours not being open. And I said, with friends like with him, who needs enemies? Well, she chimes in and says, oh, you're the sensible one out of your ghetto felon followers. And I reminded her that, hey, Micah Beckwith follows me. Hey, you follow me. Hey, Rob Kendall follows me. All these, in fact, like 7,000 people follow me just on Facebook, not alone all the ADHD venues platforms I'm on. So I don't think that was a very kind move. So she goes on and she says, I don't care what your relationship is with them. So I sent Micah a text. I said, does Erin Sheridan work for you? And he goes, yeah. I said, that's surprising because she is trashing you on social media. So that was on Saturday, Sunday, and Thursday she's fired. And then mysteriously, this story gets dropped out. So I don't know who this guy's protecting because she's already gone. And good riddance to her. If I had one of my employees doing that to me, this is a fire at will state. You don't have to have a reason. You don't have to do any of that. But she has spread information she did to me. She told me false information, wanting me to spread it, acts like my friend and stabs me in the back when I'm not looking. So anyway, Erin, you got what you deserved. So, and Abdul, you're going to get what you deserved. The stuff that's coming for you, well, just everybody stay tuned. So anyway, back to the clips. What we have here, let's see, I got to get back to it. Okay, so this was, let's see if this is clip 4. Let's go to that.
People who are friends, who are close, saying the same thing, that's only one source. And this is more than that. And I don't want to go too far out over my skis because I want to protect the people who have trusted me with their confidentiality, because this is serious. As we found out today and are finding out, it's potentially criminal what's happening inside the Lieutenant Governor, or what happened inside the Lieutenant Governor's office.
You had mentioned just in this previous answer, there have been more people who have seen this video than what you mentioned in your first article? Because you had just said one of your sources saw the video.
There were, I don't want to get into numbers because I don't want to jeopardize people, but there are multiple people who witnessed this, in addition to Deputy Chief of Staff Greg Poles, who I was told is the one who was showing the video on April 10th, and lawyer on contract for Lieutenant Governor's office, Devin Norrick, who was also showing the video of Representative Haggard's wife.
All right. Yeah, Jennifer, you are 100% correct. So this happened April 10th. and he's dragging Greg Poles into this, and this Darren, or the attorney. I know Greg somewhat. I don't know him well, but I know others that know him, and I've not talked to Greg. I have talked to Craig Haggard, and I have talked to Micah. I have talked to both of those gentlemen, and I've done as much research as I can. And even now, I don't know if I'm, I feel like I don't, is this true or false? I need to see more evidence before I do this. But what I do know is this smells of the dirty tricks that they do to ruin somebody's character and reputation. And Micah and Craig, being new to politics, fell into it just like I fell into it when they call you and say, "Oh, you want to make a statement?" Folks, never make a statement, because you can see what that's done now. Now he's made a statement without thinking about it, without seeing a video, without anything. Now it looks a little bit like, hey, I'm getting mad about an if, and ifs will get you in trouble. So, he mentions Greg Poles. I don't think about it. It's just out of his character. There's a saying, live in such a way if somebody was accused of something like that, no one would believe it. That's where I'm at with Greg Poles. I just don't. And plus, who's got time? Think about it. April 11th. They've been in office for whatever. They got time to make this video and do that. The whole thing doesn't add up. It stinks. And you got this guy out there pushing it with no sources that he'll identify, no video, and he's just sort of making this narrative that's just floating around that everybody looks at it and says, "Oh, well, I don't like Micah Beckwith. I knew he was a rat. I don't like Craig Haggard. He's terrible. Blah, blah, blah. I knew it. So it works. I'm just saying it works, because now people think that these guys are, just piling on. But it, like I said, we're looking behind the curtain. So let's see. I have this little one here, I think.
And actually, I should note too, I reached out to Governor Mike Braun's office, and what they told me was, quote, "The governor's office does not have any authority over the lieutenant governor's human resources matter, nor over those of any elected official."
Red flag, red flag, red flag. This guy's supposed to be in charge of all those people. And he's going, "Well, I'll just let them be whatever they're going to be." And that's what happens when you're not a good leader and you don't manage your people well. They go and they run amok. You got to have some communication. And it's, there's, like I said, there's no love lost between Braun and Beckwith. He didn't want him. But when he didn't get his way, he still doesn't want him. So to just put your hands up and say, "Oh, I'm not going to do this. I'm sorry." And Josh Kelly, I've been trying to get a meeting with you folks for 3 months, and you keep putting me off. And I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't have your hand in this. I'm going to say it right here. It just seems, it stinks. The whole thing stinks. Support your people, back your people. Don't let this crap go down. But, I'm not going to do anything, whatever. So as you can see, I was mad last night. I'm still mad. This is just wrong. And people need to wake up and get educated and find out what the truth is on this, and don't believe what these kooks on the radio say. And they try to spin this stuff out there, and they try to ruin people's lives. And now we got two people here. I know both of them, Craig Haggard, Micah Beckwith. They are good people. They are wanting to do this work for you, the people, and they want to do a good job at it. And you got these establishment people that want no part of it. They don't even want to give them a chance. So let's go on to the next clip before I friggin' break a blood vessel.
How did you become aware that this video is alleged to have existed?
I was actually driving with my family on Saturday and I got a call from Tom LoBianco and said, hey, he was doing a story and it involved my wife and wanted to get a comment on the story. And that's the first I heard of this.
Did you speak with Tom about it?
Yeah, I mean, I started pressing him with questions and who said this, who said that, who did this, have you seen this video? I was confused. My wife was sitting next to me going, what is he talking about? And at that point, I was just trying to get more information. I think like everybody else, I'm just as much in the dark about this as everybody. I'm just trying to get some answers.
So, and you're right, Eddie Haggard. They've lost control. They can't control it. The county chair is MIA. The state chair, MIA. Braun's office, MIA. They're just letting it all fly out there. It makes them complicit. And we need to figure out how to get this together. And the grassroots people are getting together. I've been getting calls from people that are supporting Micah Beckwith, and they think that this is what does Trump say? Well, it's a witch hunt. It's a witch hunt. They're coming after me. This is no different. So that was Craig Haggard. So how did he find out? He didn't find out on April 11th, May 11th, June 11th, July 11th. It was August 5th when he found out. And how did he find out? Oh, a reporter called him and let him know what was going on. And they do that so you'll make a statement. And that's what he did. Craig made a statement. He said he was confused. He was in the dark. He was blindsided. Had his wife right there. She was asking questions. The guy caught him before he could think about what he was wanting to say. Now, this is designed to divide Micah Beckwith, Craig Haggard. Just keep that in mind. It's designed to divide them and get them fighting against each other. And if we are divided as a grassroots effort, which, by the way, if I hear the Indiana GOP claim that they're a grassroots organization and it's a big tent, I see no grass, I see no roots, and that tent's got no door on it. It's a club and we ain't in it. And until we stand up and get all of our people together and not let them divide us, we are going to be stuck in this quagmire of establishment hacks. And that's what they are. They want to protect their jobs, their funding, and they do not care about you. There's one thing I'm in agreement with Rob Kendall is they do not care about you. But other than that, he's pretty much just a windbag. But that is the truth. So I have, I think, one more clip, and then I'm going to play. I got actually somebody sent me a copy of that cheat sheet, Abdul's cheat sheet, which is pretty much accurate because never mind. The cheat sheet matches the author. So here you go. Here's clip number 6.
This is big. I mean, I'll tell you that the deep fake porn story it's a big national story right now. And we report about this in the today's story that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said she was shocked finding out she'd been the victim of one of these. That was last year. First Lady Melania Trump testified earlier this year on the national legislation, making it punishable by up to 2 years in prison. So it's a really big story, and it crosses many different sectors.
All right, keep that in mind. Remember, Curtis Hill, Me Too movement. Then we flash forward to this. Oh, deep fake. It's a national thing, and if you would listen to him, he'd say, "Oh, well, Micah's getting national attention out there." So same thing with Curtis. Curtis got the most votes of anybody when he ran for attorney general. He got more votes than any of the other guys. And then, after doing some investigation, he made one of the previous administrations, he wouldn't do what they said. So they said, "Hey, we're going to show you." And so they make up the story, send it out to the mouthpieces. The mouthpieces spread it out. The people believe it, take it hook, line, and sinker. And then Curtis Hill is a terrible person. And I've got to know Curtis, and he is not a terrible person. He's a good person, and he does not deserve to have this kind of attack on him for his character. I'm sorry, he doesn't. So now let's get to speaking of people without character. Let's look at this cheat sheet here. So hopefully you can read that. I'm gonna have to put my glasses on here. But apparently, and I don't know why this is Abdul Hakim Shabazz, and he's a self-claimed gossip columnist. No, I gave him that title, but he thinks he's a reporter, but he only does one-sided. So that makes him a gossip columnist. So this Erin Sheridan decided she's going to run to him and spill her guts of how she got fired. Now, folks, I had really, maybe my comments to Micah were the straw that broke the camel's back, but she was sending emails out and false information, and she is a leaker and a rat. So she had to go. So it just was a coincidence. So don't think that I get people fired by calling. Don't even think that. That's not true. But, she wants to get her pound of flesh out of me. So here you go. Talks about, Abdul mentions me by name, long time out of power broker, ran to reclaim his post in the Marion County GOP. I got demolished by Natalie Goodman, who put together a coalition of people tired of Schmitz's baggage and backroom games. Oh, yeah. Well, they basically appointed 300 people. She didn't do anything, just like she's not doing anything now. And they basically cheated me. So It's a pretty good name for this thing. Instead of exiting gracefully, he obviously doesn't know me. Schmitz and his allies, which are those felon ghetto, followers, clung to relevance by whispering, sabotaging, and scheming, and it worked for a while. Guess what, Abdul? It's still working. Your day is coming. And then he adds this in here of all this. And I want to know who Silo is. Somebody tell me who. It's likely one of Beckwith's flunkies. Speaking of flunkies, that's it. And then so they lay all this out, which Jeremiah TV Ball is under felony indictment. He was saying that he'd already been prosecuted for that, which is pretty much libel. And then also, I've got a question for Abdul. Why do you keep dodging the deposition? You were supposed to be deposed last week, and you said you were in court, and then you tried to do a summary judgment, and then you to get out of it. Why do we need to have all this discovery on Jeremiah's side of this thing? Why do we? And the judge says, pound sand, get it done in 10 days. So he's supposed to be deposed on this. I think it's a defamation that he put on Jeremiah, and Jeremiah in turn sued him, and he's not doing good. And he thinks he's this great lawyer, and he put a hit out on me. He says, well, Schmitz's business acumen is so good. Why did you have to claim bankruptcy? Well, Abdul, how did your case against David Waters, the next guy, get thrown out? Oh, because you didn't file it right. I thought you were this super lawyer out there kicking ass and making money and all that. No, dude, you are not. You are sloppy. In Haas's case, you put Gabe Whitley's name on it and filed it in Marion County, and it's not him, and it's in Howard County. Oh, but you're this super lawyer. So you know what? And I didn't answer you to a lot of that stuff that you put out there, that trash, that half-truths, the original story. Oh, guess what? The guy that assaulted me up on that job site in 2017, he's sitting in Colorado for murdering his wife. And so who do you think's got more credibility on that? A contractor that's doing this work that I'm doing here that apparently this never happened. It's been expunged. I got a clean record. I didn't even have a speeding ticket. You go check my case. Or a wife murderer. But you'll never hear Abdul do the other side of the statement of the thing because he's a gossip columnist. He's what they call he's a bad muckraker is what he is. So he needs to go back to school on that. So his case got thrown out just a couple of days ago with David Water. So he's suing everybody for defamation because he won a case against Gabe Whitley. So now he thinks he's a super lawyer that he's going to walk over these people. Well, I got a news for you. Both Jeremiah and David, they're not going to sit there and take it. And of course, I'm still meddling. I'm just meddling. And I don't know who the Silo guy is, but and Micah is the Grand Inquisitor in Chief. Come on. It's just a bunch of garbage. I got to get it out of my face. It's irritating me. But so this is what they do. So, and did you notice he didn't mention Steve Whitmer, Witty Reviews, or any of that? Did you notice he didn't mention that? Because guess what? Steve Whitmer's pushing him out. He's taken over for Abdul. Let's look at it. Let's go through the list of people that Abdul have irritated. Let's see. AG, Todd Rokita, yes. He's gone after Micah again, more than once. Gone after Diego. He's gone after just about everybody in Marion County. And the worst one of that is Melissa Hubbard when she passed away, and her body wasn't even. And he's out there doing the victory dance. Good riddance, and he's just not nice. He's not a nice person, and I never answered him until now because you don't want to answer a fool because it validates their position, and I just I can't take it anymore. Folks that think, well, John, why don't you speak up and say something? Well, here I am. I'm saying something tonight about this, and I'm hoping you're getting the picture of how this works. They want to divide, discourage, and destroy, rinse and repeat, and it works. Back in the 60s, they used to assassinate you. So it's the same thing, but now it's character assassination. So next Tuesday, we're going to have Curtis Silk come on. We're going to talk about this a little bit more. So let's see. My wife's sending me a text message. What's she going to say? Oh, take the Abdul. Nobody wants to see that Abdul image. Nobody wants to see it. So anyway, that is and I think that he's it's I think it's that way. So that's why they call this outside guy who has nothing to do with it. They want to try to get these folks fighting. So if you want to get involved with politics, we have several different places you can get involved, and it's a real grassroots effort. We will listen to you. We will respect your opinion. We will guide you. We will help you not get into these messes. Because if you are new to this, you can see how there's a lot of landmines you can step on and get into trouble. So we got Curtis Hill coming on next Tuesday, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this. And and maybe by next Tuesday we'll have some resolve. And we know that Ryan Mears, he's all over it. So if there is some charges, I don't think I'd worry about it. They'll be out on a cashless bond the next day and probably never ever have to go to court. But I just find it odd that they could get on this case that quick, and how it all happened. The whistleblower gets fired on Thursday, and the story comes out on Saturday, Friday, whatever, and they run with it before they even know if there's a video. So that is it in a nutshell. I think I covered it all. So stay tuned for Mouthwash on Tuesday. We're going to go into this stuff and hey, get involved. I mean, I know it's tough. It's tough. You have to grit your teeth sometimes and get through it. But that's what we have tonight for you. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, share this video with some other people. I called out some names on there. I'm sure I'm going to get some phone calls. Sort of like when Mike Speedy endorsed me for chair, that Josh Kelly, he called me then. Oh, rah, 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 rah. Apparently you can't have a free thought down there at the State House, or they come for you. So anyway, keep your chin up. Let's go. And wow, it's just crazy times right now. So see ya Tuesday night, 9:00. Over and out.